Hey Fae folk, welcome back to another Dolls I Don't Want video. If you are unfamiliar with this video type that I do, it's where I talk about dolls that have either come out recently or dolls that are going to be coming out soon that we do have stock photos for that I don't plan on buying for one reason or another. Sometimes it's just like a budget thing, sometimes it's a perfectly cute doll, but I just don't feel like I really have to own them. And sometimes it's because I think the dolls are absolutely butt ugly, but this is just a way for me to sort of share my opinions again on the dolls that I don't plan on purchasing because I simply can't just have my opinions. I have to share them with you all. So obviously these are just my thoughts. If you love all the dolls featured in today's video, totally chill, not a big deal. Just do please be kind about it if you want to express that down below. We don't have like a ton of dolls to get through today, but I figured if I waited any longer, first of all, there are already some dolls on here that are like a little out of date. And then also I feel like if I wait any longer, there's going to be a sudden flood of doll releases, and then I'm going to have too much to talk about. So this might be a little bit of a quicker video, but hopefully it's still very, very fun. I do have enough dolls to make the inverse of this video, the dolls I do want. So we're going to go ahead and do that for the next upload. But for today, we're going to focus a little bit on the negative, a little bit on the critique, and we're going to talk about dolls that I'm just not super duper excited about. So let's just jump on in. Okay, so we're going to be starting off with Barbie, but we're actually starting off with dolls that I'm not really sure if they're going to get to be featured in this video. As of time of filming, we have teasers for the Dia de los Muertos Barbie and Ken dolls that are going to come out for 2025, but we don't have full official stock photos. And the leaked images that I've seen, it's kind of hard for me to tell how I'm going to feel about them. So first of all, I don't know if the stock photo is going to come out in time for me to like edit a little section in here. And I don't even know if I'm going to want them or not. But just in case, I just wanted to say I am aware of those. I know they're coming. If they have like dropped stock photos by the time that I'm just like editing this and like before this video needs to be published to you all, then I'll go ahead and insert like a little edited clip here. Otherwise, just be aware that I know they're there and we'll discuss them at some point in the future if I can't edit them into this video. But as far as Barbies that like very solidly I can talk about today, I'm just going to show you one doll from like this lineup just because I don't really feel like I need to go through every single one because my thoughts are pretty similar on all of them. And that is the whole like second lineup of Barbie movie dolls that they're releasing. I just don't feel excited about any of these. I don't know. I feel like it's been talked about to death about the fact that Mattel really just did not handle the Barbie movie that well. Like, obviously, the movie was a huge success and very beloved. I loved it. Even Tony liked it, and he's not even like a doll person. But as far as like merchandising for the movie and coming out with dolls for the movie, they were like not necessarily as on top of it as I think a lot of us would have hoped and expected them to be. And now we're getting more dolls, and it's like that's fabulous if you're super excited about these. Like, that's wonderful. I'm obviously not judging anybody who likes these. But for me, I didn't even get almost any of the Barbie movie dolls from like the first round. We got the Mojo Dojo Casa House Ken because Tony wanted him. But like, outside of that, I didn't feel excited enough about any of those dolls originally right after the Barbie movie when the hype was like at its highest to pay the prices that they were asking for those dolls. And now that it's been a while since the release, like I still love the movie. It's not that I'm like, no, second thoughts, it was kind of shit. Like that's not it. It's just I'm even less hype. You know, like the hype isn't fresh and new. So I'm certainly not going to pay the prices for these dolls now. It just feels like it's a little bit too late, and not in the way that, you know, you can make dolls for older IPs or like referencing older movies or anything like that. Like you can do that and it can be very exciting. I'm not saying you have to only make dolls that are super duper current. This just feels like too little too late from Mattel specifically. I feel like if they had waited for like the 5-year or 10-year anniversary of the Barbie movie, like I know that would be waiting longer, but it just honestly feels like it would make more sense than this. This just feels still very lackluster to me. So like there's nothing inherently wrong with any of the dolls. Like I don't think any of them is butt ugly. I just don't care. So I won't be buying any of them. Then we have to talk about the holiday Barbie and the holiday Ken. We're getting a holiday Ken this year, which is fun, but we're going to go ahead and take a look at the Barbie first. It's not really for me. It's not really for me. I think like the pattern on the fabric is kind of nice. I do like that part. And if we ignore the bow for a second, I do think the idea of having like tulle kind of poking up at the neckline, I think that can be executed in a very interesting way. I think it's way too much with the bow also. Like the bow is so big on these dolls, and then you also have the tulle, and it's just like a lot of weight happening right here. I also just don't think that like the cut of the dress at the like waist to hip line is super great because it looks like they're going for more of a ball gown silhouette, which is like not new for the holiday Barbies. But listen, I always love a good ball gown, okay? It looks like they're trying to go for that, but it's just not necessarily successful. Like looking specifically at the area, like the sort of like V, again, like at like the waist to hip, where the top part of the dress meets the skirt, it just there's not enough of an exciting flair to make it feel like anything is going on, and it doesn't even feel like a well executed like A-line style dress where there is more of like a gentle taper as opposed to like a poof for a ball gown. It doesn't even look like that because honestly, like it just looks like it's poorly fitted. Like it doesn't look like this was sewn for this doll in particular. I don't know if I'm just like crazy or nitpicky for thinking that. But yeah, I think that there are some elements that could have been good, but the fit and like the overall design and just like so much happening right here and then nothing happening anywhere else. It's a miss for me. I really like I really want to get to see a holiday Barbie that excites me. It's been a while since that has happened. I really want to get to see a new Barbie for the holiday line that actually makes me feel something like something positive. It doesn't look like it's going to happen this year. So maybe 2026 will be our year, but yeah, this is it for Barbie. As far as Ken goes, this is so hard because on the one hand, I'm just excited that we're getting a holiday Ken, right? Like I think that that's really really cool that we're finally getting to see this. I think that's a fun inclusion for the line to branch out and not just have it be Barbie. That being said, he's so boring. I've seen a lot of people online say that they wish the same fabric that is on Barbie's dress was used for Ken's jacket, and I 100% agree because I it's not that they don't match. Like he does have like the gold and it complements her dress, but how cute would it be if they had like some of the same fabric being used? And also I just think that that would actually make this feel a little bit more exciting cuz it's not that he's ugly. It's not that this is like a bad design. And granted, this is the first holiday Ken, so, hopefully they can only go up from here. But it's just, it kind of reminds me of like the Met Gala. And when you look at like all the dresses, and then like the guys are just there in black suits, regardless of what the theme is, like everyone else is dressing to the nines, and then like most of the men are just kind of there, like play around a little, do something exciting because he's just in a suit. And it's not that it's ugly, but it's just like you could have done so much more. And I just wish we could have seen more for him. So he's not awful. And I do have high hopes for the future. Like, I hope they keep doing holiday Kens and I hope they keep getting better. I just don't want this one. And then, sort of like halfway moving away from Barbie, we do have a couple of Mycene dolls to talk about. So we got a Noli doll that we're going to look at first. I feel like a lot of people are sort of like not vibing with this one. I don't think she's horrible. It's not really necessarily my favorite style of doll, but I don't super duper hate her. I don't really feel much of anything. Like, I would love to own a couple of Mycene dolls, but I just don't feel excited enough about this one to like actually do it. And a lot of that is because of the price. We got the first three, like the first little round of Mycene dolls that they made, and those were $40 each. And I just think that that's an unreal price. Like, I don't think any of those dolls really felt worth it. And Noli, and then the next one we're going to look at, Jai, as well. I don't think they look like they're worth $40 either. Like, I just cannot accept that in my head. And I actually think they might be closer to 45 depending on where you buy them. I feel like I've maybe seen listings like at a different price if it's like Target versus Mattel versus whatever. I just can't justify it. So I don't hate Noli as much as I've seen some people hate Noli, like at least this version of her. Um, but I definitely don't like her enough to buy her. That being said, the next Mycene doll that we're looking at, Jai, she's the closest I've been to being willing to spend $40 to $45 on one of these dolls, but it's still just not, it's just not there. I do want to address really quick, when we first got these stock photos, there was some concern that her skin had been like significantly lightened from the one doll that she got back in like the original run of My Scene. To my knowledge, once people started getting these like actually in their hands and being able to compare them better, I'm pretty sure that the skin tone is like very, very nearly identical. And it was just sort of like a lighting and like photography issue. So I'm pretty sure that's where we're at. So I'm not going to like critique Mattel for that. Feel free to correct me if I am wrong in the comments, but I do feel like I've seen some side by sides that look like they're pretty similar. So I'm glad that it seems like that wasn't actually an issue, because that would have been wildly fucked up if that was an issue. So we get to like discount that. Hi, Miss Weiss. Hello, pretty baby. Oh my goodness. Are you the cutest thing ever? I would happily spend more than $45 on you, Reese. She only cost $5 though. Best $5 I've ever spent. Anyway, back to the doll. Yeah, I really truly love her outfit. I think these pants, like the super intense flare with like the floral pattern, it's such a vibe. Y'all already know, like I'm a weird sucker for plastic clothing, even though, you know, it's not necessarily the most practical thing. It looks really cute though, her jacket. The top's cute. She's got like waist beads. I love everything about this doll except for her price tag. Like I just cannot justify spending so much money on her, because she just like, she's beautiful. I know, but this is to me what I should be getting for like a playline price, and it's like a mid-tier collector price. So it's just hard. I've seen reviews for her and like she looks incredible, but I just don't think that I can do it. And like I could wait for a sale and get her, but then she would be my only My Scene doll, and I feel like then I want more. So I don't know. She's, I guess we can wait and see what My Scene does in the future, and if they release more dolls that I feel good about, maybe I'll end up getting her on a sale if we see more things in the future. But for right now, I just can't. I just can't do it, even though I do think she's really, really gorgeous. But that finally concludes the Barbie segment of today's video. We're going to go ahead and have just one quick little Bratz entry for today. And I'm almost certainly going to butcher this name, so I'm sorry in advance. We're only saying it once because I don't need to embarrass myself more than one time. Well, I'm sure I'll embarrass myself at some other point in the video, but more than one time for this doll. The Jean Paul Gaultier, maybe? I'm really sorry. Yeah, I just honestly dislike everything about this doll except for the base doll. That's it. Everything else is not it for me. I understand this is a designer collab, so like if you like his fashions and stuff, you probably like this doll. I just don't. I just don't really like, again, anything about it except for the base doll. I think the skirt is like a little bit too long. I do feel like on a human being this might look good, but on a doll, like something about the scale just feels a little bit weird. Like it doesn't look quite right to me. I know the sailor thing, like I've seen from other people that the sailor thing is like a fairly consistent theme. I'm sorry, but I don't like it. Like I feel like you can understand something and still not like it. Like just because I can understand where this came from doesn't mean I have to suddenly think it's cute, and I don't. I detest the cone bra on the second outfit. Like I I hate it so much. But the number one offender to me is these fuck ass shoes, the cleat heels, the cleals. Like I just don't get it. I just think that they look so bad. Again, it's fine if you love this doll and if you love everything about her. That's the beauty of things like dolls and fashion, is that everyone has different tastes, and so everyone loves different things, and that's wonderful. But for me, this was such an easy pass, which is great because she was quite expensive. So, you know, I saved myself some money there. Alrighty, then we have a couple of like reboot slash new doll lines to go ahead and take a look at. And the first one is going to be the new Winx Club dolls, because Winx is having like a whole resurgence. So of course there's going to be new dolls to come along with that. I'm only going to be talking about the Playmates ones in this video because, to my very limited understanding, because I am very, very, very far from like being super up on Winx knowledge, but I believe the Playmates ones are going to be like the ones that are widely available in the US. And then I'm not going to try to pronounce it. I'll write on screen the other company. I'm sorry. I just like, I don't feel like butchering any other words in today's video, but I believe those are going to be like the ones that are more widely available across Europe, if I'm not incorrect. Obviously, feel free to drop more information in the comments if you are more knowledgeable than I am on this. But since I am US based, I figured it would make more sense to talk about the dolls that are going to be more like readily accessible to me. I don't like the ones like the European ones either, so those would be featured in the video. um, but yeah, sadly, I also don't like the Playmates ones, the ones that are going to be like in the US. I was hoping to, but listen, I've said this a few times on the channel. I should love Winx because I love fairies. So, like, it's right there. But regardless of what company has made the dolls in the past, there's just always been something that I dislike about them, whether that's like the way the body has been done or the way the face has been done or like whatever the case might be. There's just always been something about them that has turned me off enough to not want to buy them. You know, like there are dolls that I'll buy that'll be like, you know, I would have liked if the face was a little bit different, but everything else is absolutely fabulous. So we'll go ahead and get them. But there's just always something that I dislike enough about the Winx dolls to not even want to try to get them. And unfortunately, that is the case again for these. There are some that I think are significantly better than the others. And I will say that I'm open to if they like keep making these dolls and they make improvements to them. I'm not like writing Winx off entirely. I'm still going to be like paying attention when we get news about them. Just for now, we're not really vibing. So we're going to go left to right on the image as I see it, which I think should also be the way that you see it. I'm really bad at lefts and rights. And I am sorry if I get their names wrong because I really don't feel confident about their names, but I'm just going to do my best. So I think the leftmost is Tekna. I love her outfit, and the wings on all of these are fabulous. Like the wings are genuinely so beautiful. The hair is awful. It's awful. And I have a side shave, okay? I don't know why this got messed up so badly because I feel like it's not like that much harder to execute on a doll than any other hairstyle. Like arguably it's easier because you don't even have to do a whole section. Why does it look so flat and lank and like just like hello? It's really it's really rough, which is so sad because outside of that, I think she is a nice doll. So I guess if I see them in person at some point and she looks better in person, I would absolutely be open to getting Tekna because again, I really like the outfit actually. I just don't understand how there's absolutely no volume to her hair whatsoever. Then next up, my brain is both telling me that this is Aisha, but also telling me that is not right. So I'm really sorry. I'm not a professional. Whatever her name is, though, she's definitely my favorite. I think she looks gorgeous. Like, genuinely, I don't have any notes for her. So she's another one that, like, if I saw the others in person and they looked better and I wanted to get those as well, I would get her too. I just don't want to, like, only have the one doll. I don't know. I feel like that's something new that's sort of been bothering me lately, where I don't want to have, like, just one doll from a line. And I feel like a lot of you guys are like that too. We talked about a while ago in a, like, weird doll rules video. So many of you are like that too, where you don't want to have one Mycene doll. You'd rather have at least two. So I don't want to have just one Winx doll. So if any of the others like I see and I feel strongly enough about to get them, then I'll get her too because she is by far my favorite. I think she's actually very well executed and very pretty. It's just again, I don't want her to be the only one. So yeah. Then I think we have Flora. Her face, something about it is a little iffy to me. I don't really know, but mostly I don't love how the skirt has been executed. I don't know. Like I appreciate the different layers it looks like are on there, but it just feels like a little stiff and strange. Then Bloom is probably my second favorite. I really don't think there's anything wrong with her. Again, it's just like the others in the line sort of bring her down. And I don't feel as strongly about her as I do about Aisha, question mark. Again, I don't know if that's her official name, but whatever her name is, she's beautiful. So like Bloom is also good. I just don't know if I want to like pull the trigger yet, you know? Stella, again, something about the face, like, honestly, most of these faces, I feel like, are just too high up and they don't have enough, like, forehead. One of the big things that you learn if you're, like, taking art lessons and you're trying to learn how to draw people is that the head is bigger than you think it is. So it's very, very common for people to tend to, like, draw the face and then have a tiny forehead and then, like, not really account for the rest of your skull that's back here. And it always looks uncanny. And I feel like with these dolls, they have not accounted for the skull. Like, her eyes are just right by the top of her head, and so it just looks a little bit strange. And the last one, Musa, is the worst sufferer of that. She has no head. Her eyes are up here. It's so bad. So again, this is where I'm like, maybe they'll hear that criticism and adjust it, and like the actual dolls will look significantly better. Because that's just really bad, which sucks because she has probably my second favorite outfit. Like, I think, again, I'm just calling her Aisha. I think her whole package is the best. I think Tekna's outfit is like the most exciting to me. And I think Musa's is the second most exciting to me. But her face is unforgivable. I'm so sorry. That is genuinely horrific. So, for right now, based on the images that we have at the current moment, none of these are coming into my collection. Then the other new brand is the new Dress to Impress dolls. These are inspired by the Roblox game, Dress to Impress. Again, I'm just showing one. There's like a whole lineup of dolls, but I feel the exact same about all of them, which is basically the fashions look sort of interesting. I don't have any problem with the bodies. I cannot like this squared head. Like, it's just such an odd proportion to me. I fully understand that if you play the game and you love the game, you're probably more used to it. And like, if you have that tie of like enjoyment and you think about fond memories of playing it when you see these dolls, you'll probably love them. Or maybe you just don't care about the weirdly shaped faces. But I can't do it. I just can't do it. So like this one on screen, she's gorgeous outside of that. But unfortunately that will be preventing me from wanting any of these dolls. I just can't overlook it. Then I did want to mention the Once Upon a Whimsy Disney collector dolls, which honestly, now that I'm saying that, I'm like, why am I bothering to mention? Because I don't collect Disney dolls. But here we are. I think it's because I made a whole video on them. So I'll link that up above if you want to see my like in-depth thoughts on each of these dolls. But basically, I just think these are supposed to be quite strange. And I think when you go for a very like intentionally odd theming, it can be a little bit harder to hit that nail on the head. And I just don't think these did it, at least for me. Obviously, again, if you love them, that's fabulous. But I'm just not really vibing with those. And then the last entries for today, I think might surprise you guys because I did just make a video talking about the like third lineup of core dolls from Monster High and how everyone and their mother seems to be hating on them. And I'm like, but I actually really like them. I am very, very tentatively putting both Frankie and Claudine on this dolls I don't want list from that lineup, not because I don't like them. They are my two least favorites from the lineup, but I still do like elements of them. And like, I absolutely could see myself changing my mind and ending up buying these dolls on a sale. The reason they're on the list for today is because they aren't supposed to be coming out until 2026. So these are dolls that we have images of quite early. And I have found that when that happens, I tend to get a little bit less excited about them by the time they actually release. But also, that's like not really the primary reason that they're on today's list. These are dolls that I think are just unfortunately going to fall through the cracks for me because there are so many things coming out all the time, and dolls aren't the only thing that I like to spend my money on. I spend the vast majority of my disposable income on dolls. But like, I like to buy clothes, I like books, I collect anime figurines. Like, there are other things that I do like to spend my money on. And so when you combine that with the fact that there are so many dolls releasing all the time, sometimes I just end up prioritizing other dolls, and dolls that I genuinely like end up again falling through the cracks, and I just end up never adding them to my collection because I have to prioritize other things because I have a limited budget. Like, I'm not trying to go into severe credit card debt to buy dolls. Side note, that's not like a judgment if you have debt. That's just, I get financially anxious about it and I don't want to be in debt, especially like for something that isn't a necessity. It's just not something that I'm comfortable with. But like, I don't know you, I don't know your situation, I'm not here to judge you. Point being though, So I'm just saying, I think I can see, because of the timeline being so far away for these dolls to come out, I could see it being the case that we get a bunch of other stock photos for other dolls that are going to be releasing around the same time, and I end up wanting to prioritize those. And even from this line, like, again, the Frankie, I love their hair, I like their little sweater vest, I like their green leg. That's great. The Claudine, I love her skirt and her funky transparent boots. Like, I do like these dolls. But I'm sitting here and I'm like, I already know that I want the Draculaura, the Cleo, and the Laguna way, way more. So I'm going to prioritize those. And then I might want to buy something from Barbie, or I might want to buy something from Bratz. And so I do just feel like these are definitely dolls that I would be waiting for a sale for. But there is also the potential that just by the time they're on shelves with everything else that I end up juggling, both with dolls and without, these might be dolls that I really do like elements of, but they just don't end up in the collection because I can't prioritize them. Which isn't like, it's not like my favorite, but I think it's just sort of a reality of doll collecting when you don't have an unlimited budget. So these are by no means included because I don't like them. Again, I made a whole video defending this whole line. But yeah, I just think that they're a little bit lower on the priority list. So these are either going to be sale dolls or dolls that end up just not making it in. So shout out to them. I don't think they're ugly, but you got to make some cuts somewhere. But that finally concludes all the dolls that I wanted to talk about today. Again, not necessarily as many dolls to cover, but now we're nice and caught up and we can like start with a fresh slate for anything that we might see. I feel like this late in the year, we might get like a few things that are going to release by the end of the year, but I think we're going to start getting leaks and stuff for 2026, just because obviously doll companies want to be able to have their stuff firmly on the shelves by the time the holidays hit. So I feel like we tend to get a little bit less leakage around this time of year. But of course, now that I've said that and now that I'm posting this video, we're probably going to get a ton of leaks and I'll have to make another one of these. But at least we'll be caught up. So yeah, those are all of my thoughts on these dolls. Again, I will be making the inverse, the dolls I do want next. So definitely be on the lookout for that one so we can talk about some releases that I'm like excited for instead of critiquing. And I obviously would love to hear your thoughts on all the dolls. Do you agree with me? Are you also skipping on these? Did I accidentally talk about all the dolls that you want? If so, I'm sorry. Feel free to share your thoughts down below. But yeah, that's going to be it for me for today, guys. I do hope you enjoyed. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day or your night, or whatever it might be, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.